Hi friends, this is Heather. Everyone wants their website to appear in top searches in Google, but the million-dollar question is how? If you want your website to appear in top searches in Google, you will have to follow few norms, and which and those norms are typically suggested by Google only. Before going through those norms, we should understand how Google works. Because if we do not understand how Google works, it will be a bit challenging for us to understand those things. If you might be thinking that there are any manual persons out there who are checking your website. No, Google has got web crawlers in the form of computer generated programs which are manually going through your websites, crawling your websites, indexing your websites, and providing your websites in search results. This is how, in a nutshell, Google is working. You can also manually submit your website in Google to Google, although Google clearly says that they do not accept any payments to rank your website or to index your website. So this actually comes in three different stages. Google search works in three different stages. The first stage is crawling, the second stage is indexing, and the third stage is serving the search results. These are the three stages. Let's discuss each of the stage in a brief detail. Friends, crawling means to crawl something, like a spider is crawling its web. So that's exactly, Google is having these spiders, and they are computer generated programs. We normally call these spiders as search bots and Google bots. Why? Because billions and billions of pages are published each day, and every day, every second, a web page is publishing somewhere. So to access that web page, there is a computer generated program Google developed especially, and Google is saying that computer generated program as Google bot or web crawlers or Google spiders. Once your pages are published, Google spiders come and crawl those web pages. This is the work of a Google spider. Now, in how much frequency they will crawl, and after how much time they will crawl, and which site to crawl, these factors, they determine themselves. Means the computer generated program, which we call as Google bot, that program determines these factors on its own: which site they will crawl, with how much frequency they will crawl, and how much pages to fetch from that particular URL. And in this process, that Google spider or search bot quite ensures to avoid slowing down your website. However, if in these three conditions your web pages or website URL cannot be crawled, so you can imagine, if that cannot be crawled, that cannot be indexed, and that cannot appear in searches as well. The first instance is you are manually blocking the search bot and website crawlers using robots.txt file. Second instance is your pages are password protected, and in these instances Google bots also cannot crawl your website pages. And you have, in third instance, you have manually blocked your website pages from crawling. For example, if you are using a WordPress CMS, obviously you don't want the admin files, the CMS files, to be crawled, so those files to be blocked by you or by default. And there is one thing to note, and that is quite important, is while crawling, Google renders your website pages exactly like you are rendering your website pages or any website using Google Chrome. Why? Because most of the pages use scripts, and without rendering that page, Google crawler will unable to understand what is there in the page. So Google here says is that like you are rendering a web page using Google Chrome, exactly Google search bots, Google web crawlers use the Chrome engine to render the pages for the sake of understanding it. Next comes is indexing. So what is indexing? After crawling, there is a huge list of databases over there, different. Now, which page to take and which page not to take? What it is, which part in that page to take and which part not to take. Take means Google will specially saving that part or saving that web page or saving the content in its index. Now you will ask, what is index? Index is index Google index is huge set of computers, and Google index is actually hosted on huge thousands of computers out there, in which Google maintains its index. And by the way, this index is not public. This is the private index of Google. Now, what Google actually does by indexing? Look, if there is a web page, there is content over there. In that content, video over there, text, images, scripts, many things out there in a single web page. And the process of index is to examine what is there in your page. Once Google determines that this is a video, this is an image, this is a text, and this is all related to this particular URL, Google make an index accordingly and saves that in its database. Now, one thing important to note is that while indexing, Google segregates canonicals and duplicates. Google never saves duplicate data, or if in case, for example, if you have a web page xyz.mobile1.html and xyz.mobile in mobile.html, and both the pages having same content and same images, and if you are thinking Google will not recognize these, no, you are mistaken. During the indexing process, Google renders both, compares both, Google recognizes both, and Google avoids the duplicate. Now you can imagine how tedious the task is, as if some manual person out there is actually going through each page, scanning each page with a magnifying glass and segregating those pages. Google is using huge set of computers, first for crawling and then for indexing, and search bots as well. There are very strong programs who are working as search bots, because you can imagine indexing. Before indexing, this process is quite tedious and typical and challenging processes there, to scan every page, to understand and to segregate the duplicates, and not even the duplicates, to segregate the canonical as well. Now, what is canonical? You have, if your domain, if the page is appearing with www and without www, means it's a canonical page and the page is same. So you have to ensure that your website pages are not having any canonicals, means either they will appear with www or non www. To fix this problem, if your website is facing this, you need to check your domain administrator or website administrator, and they will fix the canonical issue. But by the way, you have to fix the canonical issue because this may create indexing issues then in later stages. Even after all this, Google says that there is no guarantee that your website pages or URL has been indexed. Google clearly says that. Now, there are few things which creates issues while indexing, and those things are if you have low quality content in your website, if the robots are disallowing your website, if robots.txt is optimized to disallow all robots, all search bots, then if your website design is too complex, if you are using the website CMS which is a bit complex, then that may create indexing issues. So you will have to ensure that while designing and developing your website, you will have to ensure these three things should not be there. And beforehand, you can discuss these three things with your website design company, that you will have to ensure content, you will have to ensure robots.txt, and lastly, the website design should not be complex. Last is serving the search results. First, Google crawls. Second, Google index, segregation, duplicates, canonicals, maintaining the registries, filling the servers with proper use cases, proper files, proper content, and everything. And now it's time to serve the search results. Again, Google use highest quality computers. Typically, they are programmed in this process to serve this process, and those computers check for highest quality pages most relevant to the users, and only those pages are served in top results. Now, how you might be asking this question, how Google determines which pages are of good quality or highest quality standard? So that Google says there are more than 200 factors to determine the highest quality score of any web page or of any website. We'll discuss few primary ones here. First is user location. And yes, this matters. If you are sitting in Europe and you are searching for bicycles out there, Google will serve you different search results as compared if you are sitting in Hong Kong or US and searching for bikes, the search results will be different. Second is language, which language you are using. If you are using Hindi language, search results will be different because then user and audience typically don't understand English. If you are in Russia, search results will be typically different because audience don't understand English. And if you are in United States, the search results will altogether be different because audience understands English over there. Language is again the second barrier and one of the quality checks, primary quality checks. Then device, which device you are using. If your website is very good and not compatible with mobiles, then Google will not show your website in mobile devices, and more than 50% of the user base is mobile now. So mobile does matter prominently, and so it's always been said that please make your website mobile compatible if it is not. Then comes content quality. If the quality of your content is not good, if you are using thin content or low quality content, or at all if you are using copied content, then that is the worst case scenario. Your website will be completely penalized by Google. Well, content plays a vital role. The fresh content and quality content to which your visitor hooks. Google search bot loves that content. So it is always recommended to use high quality content. And that is one of the primary factors while determining quality score. Then content relevancy. depending upon how relevant your content is to the query. For example, if your audience is searching for mobile under 10,000, Google bot will check what is highly relevant for the user and then display. So if your web page is having quality content highly relevant to the user and the audience, Google will display your page in that case, definitely, depending upon the competition. However, then search tags, if you are using different search tags like meta tags, they are the description tags, the keywords, the title tags, the image tags, alt tags. So these are all the tags. If you are using these tags properly, Google, to understand what the image is about, you have to mention in alt tag, the image is about this, the image is this. If the title tag is missing, Google may not able to understand what the page is about. So tags are very important, and these are called search tags, and they are very important for indexing in the indexing process. Then comes user interaction. How many users are interacting with your web page and your website and your domain? Yes, this is one of the major quality scores, because more the users are interacting means users are loving your content. Users would like to see your content, and Google marks that as well. That's a main UI signal, user interface signal. Then user interaction. Then site speed is one of the major search signals. If your website is speed is slow, no matter it has got good content, no matter you are using targeted content or the site is relevant, if the speed is slow, then the user experience is degrading to, and search bot may not like this thing. So this is one of the major quality factor. Average time on website. If you will check the Google Analytics shows average time on every page, for every page and for the overall website. If the average time on website is higher, Google ranks your website higher gradually. And this is one of the major quality scores. Means people are loving your people loves your content, people would like to stay on your website, whatever you have developed. So it is one of the major signals for quality score. Then reviews. Google strongly recommends reviews, that you should, if you are providing a service or you are selling anything and third party reviews are not good, means it is one of the important signal that Google, no matter if your customer base, no matter your content, if reviews are not good, that is quite quite an important signal, which using which Google may degrade your website. So please ensure you are having good reviews. Reviews is direct feedback from your customer. So that's very important for Google. Domain age. Obviously, if your domain is old, that can be a secondary ranking factor, if not primary. But domain age, yes, domain age does matters. If your domain is older, then it really matters that if it is 10 years old or 5 years old, or if it is a new domain, Google understands that the company and the site has been launched just recently, or if in case the domain has been migrated and the company's presence is out over there, Google understands all these things programmatically. Website's performance, how your website is performing overall, that's one of the quality signal. It's if as far as user experience is concerned, as far as search bot is concerned, as far as content is concerned, overall experience of your website does matters, and that's one of the quality score. And all these points constitutes the overall web experience, user experience as well. And mobile compatibility. If your website is not compatible with mobiles or tablets and the database is huge, then Google Google search spiders while indexing segregate those web pages or your website URL or whole of your website, including subdirectories and subdomains, that this website is not compatible and will give a quality score accordingly, and that may not be good because mobile compatibility is one of the important ranking factors now. Browser compatibility as well, because everyone is not using Chrome, some are using Microsoft, some are using older versions, so you have to ensure that browser compatibility should be there. Each and every browser should render your website pages properly, and that's one of the ranking signal as well. List is long, but we are only discussing these few things, and as they are primary factors. Now friends, if your website is not optimized, it's a professional suggestion that you should check for any digital marketing company and make your website search optimized, search friendly, and you can also check Bitvero for the same. Bitvero is also into the same services, and top of all, that with Bitvero you can see the calculators over there. You can immediately check the cost involved, and then you can order from over there. If calculators, apart from calculators, they are also providing packages out there using which you can easily understand the codes, and you can discuss with one of their persons and order different products, be it website designing, be it branding, be it search engine optimization, be it social media marketing, be it website hosting, be it website support, be it PPC. They have all in their bucket, but they may conduct an two. You have to ensure your website should be user friendly and search bar friendly as well, and to ensure they may conduct an online audit and may submit you the report. To understand, you can discuss the report with them in greater detail to understand what are the pain points which you can remove or which you should remove to make your website search friendly. Lastly, friends, I would like to mention that please do not underestimate Google in any way. Google is using quite high technology, and if you will underestimate technology of Google, then it may prove harmful for your website or for your URL only. And please avoid using any unethical search practices. At the end, this is one of the most important thing I would like to mention. For example, people use content out there, people copy content from one website and they use that content partially or fully. This is an unethical practice, and if you think that Google may not able to discover that, yes, Google will discover it and will penalize your website if you are using copied content from anywhere else. So friends, keep me posted how you like this video. If you will find this video informative, just share this and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.